2001 was a legendary year for performing electronic music. Two massive innovations changed the game. The CDJ-1000 was the first CDJ that allowed vinyl-style control, which made DJs a lot more comfortable using digital media. The other innovation was Ableton Live. Prior to this, if you wanted to perform electronic music live on stage, you'd need to bring all of your synthesizers, samplers, sequencers, etc. But this new piece of software allowed you to perform your electronic music live using just a laptop and a MIDI controller. I managed to get hold of a copy of Ableton Live 1.0 on CD-ROM, and I'm going to be installing it on this beast. This was my first ever laptop. It's a Dell and it's from 2008. Let's see if it still works. So the good news is that the laptop still works, but the bad news is that the fan on this thing is super loud. It sounds like it's about to take off, and the screen resolution is only 720p, so the screen recordings of this video are going to be a little bit lower resolution. I'm sorry for that, but that's just the 2000s vibe, you know? So the way how we used to install software back in the day was to open up the side of the laptop and put the disk into this tray, and then double click this icon here. So this is what it's looking like, and as you can see, things haven't changed that much. We've got the two views, we've got the arrangement view and the session view. They look so similar to modern Ableton Live, especially if we go to options and preferences and load a different skin. There's one called understatement, and if I load that up, look at that now. Basically just looking like normal Ableton Live that we know and love. There are some massive differences though. Number one is if we go to the effects, you can see that the list is quite short. The guys that made this obviously were quite into delay, because we've got simple delay, ping pong delay, grain delay, filter delay, but they hadn't thought to add a reverb, which was quite strange in my opinion. We've also got the EQ4, which was obviously the predecessor to EQ8. We've got a compressor but no limiter. We've got chorus, and we've got the auto filter, erosion, and vinyl distortion. So that's the effects that we've got to work with. So when thinking about what I'm going to do in today's video, obviously I could have made a tune, but if we go to the file menu in the top left, you might notice that something's missing. There's no way of exporting your tune. That's because this software was originally designed for performing live on stage. It was never actually meant for making tunes. So then I decided the best thing to do is actually put together a live set and perform it. First of all, let me put the tempo to 175 because this is going to be a drum and bass set. So when I'm putting together a live set with modern Ableton, what I would do is drag the stems into the arrangement view and then start chopping them up into clips, and then drag it over here to the lines, and you'll see that it allows you to take it to the session view, and then you can drop it there, right? But as you saw there, I separated the first 8 bars, and then if we go here, you might think that this is now an 8-bar clip. Well, it didn't work like that in Ableton 1.0, so when I double click it, you'll see that it's still the entire stem. So that basically means that it's pointless to bring the stems into the arrangement view first. So the best way to do this is just going to be to work in the session view from the start, right? So grab the drums, put them in the session view. And as you can see, we've got our drums going on up until bar 33, and then it's the drop. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say I want this to be a 32 bar clip. So I'm just going to put length 32, press enter. Start point is 1, end is 33. Now I'm going to do the same with the bass. So just chill bass, put that there. I want it to be 32 bars, and that's all we need to do. And then instruments, put that there. I want it to be 32 bars, and then press enter. Okay, so that's basically the intro of that tune sorted. One thing I've noticed is that you can't right click anything. In modern Ableton Live, if you wanted to change the color of something, for example, you would right click it. Well, in this case, you just have to go down to the bottom here and you see color, and then you can change it. So that's the intro sorted, and now it's time to move on to the drop. Now, one thing that is still available is holding down Alt, and then you can drag things and then it copies, right? So holding down Alt, let go, it allows me to copy it. So this is going to be the drop of the tune. So as you can see, it drops from bar 33, and I want it to be 16 bars. So I'm going to type 16, and then start point 33. And then just going to drag these one more time. But this time we're starting at bar 49. So with a bit of luck now, we should have loops going on for the intro, the drop, and then the next part of the drop. What I'm going to do is just basically repeat this process and put a load of my tunes in here. And then what I'll do is perform a little bit of a live set for you.
Alright, everybody just chill. Everybody just chill.
If you've enjoyed this little trip down memory lane, don't forget to click the like button and subscribe to this channel because there's loads of tutorials on here on how to use modern day Ableton Live. And if you're interested in learning how to produce using Ableton Live, I do teach one-on-one classes through Zoom. So if you're interested in that, there's a link in the description on how you can get in touch. Here's a playlist of tutorials on how to make tracks using Ableton Live, and if you want to hear some of the music that was used in today's live set, here's a playlist of my tunes. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.